Hey there, animated tie-in to a toy line fan.
You talk about a lot of those, don't you, Private?
Yep. Welcome to my review of Ever After High, Spring Unsprung. Now this one's actually kinda hard to see. It's not online anywhere that won't get you entered in the Nigerian lottery and a case of the computer bonic plague. I ended up seeing it on Netflix. Anyway, the point is I'll be avoiding spoilers. The show begins at Ever After High's big spring fair, where the storybook scions are having fun and
other plot unimportant tomfoolery.
Good point. Off in Wonderland, which is awesome by the way, Alice's son Alistair and the White Rabbit's daughter Bunny
Seriously,
have stumbled on Ever After High's penultimate plot MacGuffin, the Storybook of Legends. But as the two Wonderland denizens are headed to Storybrooke, I mean Vale, I mean Ever After High, via a magic wishing well, they're bookjacked by Kitty's mom, the Cheshire Cat, who swaps out the Storybook of Legends for a cursed book of riddles for the purposes of spreading chaos.
That characterization is so wrong in so very many ways.
Yeah, but let's just go with it. And the resulting shenanigans turn a decent percentage of the characters evil, and threatens the balance of the storybook world. I think I can best describe Spring Unsprung as a flawed gem. It's way longer than the bite-sized webisodes that make up the series. But at 42-ish minutes, it's too short for a movie. I guess it's about the length of a TV show. But for the size and scale of what they're attempting, it's really not long enough. Now let's look at the plot, which boils down to a chaos-obsessed villain cursing residents of a fantasy world for the purposes of spreading anarchy. Gee, where have I seen that before?
Turnabout is fair play.
True enough. But the structure of the plot really isn't a problem. The problem is the world building. So apparently Wonderland is in a different dimension or whatever from the Enchanted Forest, and travel between the two has been cut off by the Grimms. Not those Grimms. Okay, that's closer, and you're just doing this on purpose, aren't you?
Of course.
But then how do the Wonderland gang get back and forth? Okay, well, the Mad Hatter just lives in Storybrooke. Kitty's mom can just travel wherever the hell she wants. And I guess the Queen of Hearts just doesn't give a about Lizzie. Now that nasty old curse causes characters to not only act contrary to their own natures, but contrary to logic as well. After she's cursed, Applewhite, daughter of Snow White, is dead set on enacting a plan that will not only suck out all the life from Ever After High, but also everyone she knows and herself. Why? There's no logic to that. And the solution to the plot revolves around a specific character not being affected by the spell blight. But on the good side, the story is interesting. They get some of the second stringers in on the action, like Kitty and Lizzie. And nonsensical as they are, the stakes are high and characters act like they matter. Now let's talk about the characters. The standout in Spring Unsprung is Kitty. She's clearly conflicted about what her mom is doing, and she experiences a little thing literary types call character development.
And what would you know about literature, Private?
I've seen movies based on books. Speaking of literature, the storybook world of Wonderland is present, accounted for, and just plain neat. We also see some of Wonderland's notable residents, like the Queen of Hearts, who's appropriately bloodthirsty, the Mad Hatter snorts pure uncut wackiness, and Rule 63 Cheshire Cat was, interesting. Now let's talk art. A bunch of the second stringers get very stylish new outfits, but it's a shame the classic fairy tale characters don't look quite so good. Other than that, I'm glad they went with the 2D animation style from the web series, which looks way better than the crummy 3D that afflicts the Monster High movies. Finally, let's talk comedy. Sadly, Ever After lags far behind certain other shows in terms of comic consistency.
Fanboy.
But there are still quality laughs to be had in Spring Unsprung. My personal favorite was an inspired joke involving a VHS tape. You'll know it when you see it. Okay, now it's time to break down the good and the bad in Ever After High, Spring Unsprung. On the good side, the story is entertaining, the cast is fun and endearing, even when they're not trying to be. There are some high-grade laughs scattered around, and the show is pretty to look at. On the downside, there are some big plot holes.
Like how girls in 4-inch heels can walk on grass.
Nah, that you just need to accept. But nonsensical character motivations and an unoriginal story keep this one from perfection. But if you like Ever After High, or you're just in the mood for something mimsy-whimsy, I'd recommend Spring Unsprung. 4 out of 5. If you're interested in more reviews of anime, movies, TV shows, comic books, or video games, check out my channel on YouTube at StupidPrivate913, or find my Facebook and Deviantart pages for video updates and more. Thank you for watching.
Hey kids, today's show is brought to you by the letter 4 and the number potato! I'm a stupid private.